All right. Miko Van and everyone, I wanted to better illustrate um, I guess, my issues or complaints with the Superman 2025. I just wanted to make things clear that I had fun with the film. I enjoyed it as well as, Fantastic Four First Steps. Although I favor the Fantastic Four First Steps a bit more, quite a bit more. I thought it just did an overall better job of, capturing that Silver Age feel, even though it was a multiverse and it didn't actually, it wasn't taking place, during our time of that era, just another world, but it is how their, I guess, I guess their 2025 or whatever year, I think 2025, because we are, it's the same, year as, Thunderbolts and everything, right? So I just thought they did a better job of capturing like a recreation of the 60s, era, late 50s, early 60s era that we went through, but over there. But of course, it's more of like a reimagining of the 60s, with all that high sci-fi equipment, things like that. I like the dynamics with all the family members. I thought, they worked well together and had good chemistry. They felt like a family. The action was just enough, not not too much and not too little. I kind of equate that to, the kind of pacing that the first 2008 Iron Man had. It had just enough action, to get its point across without going too overboard. But anyways, enough of, the Fantastic Four. There's just many things I liked more about that one, even though I enjoyed both Superman 2025 as well as Fantastic Four, but for, I guess, a very different reason. It is more of like a comedy to me. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not trying to. I'm just telling it like it is. There are things, if they're trying to go with a serious type of Superman. Everyone is saying how this is a throwback to, the comic book accurate Superman in the the golden or silver era, whatever era, just a throwback. But um, was it really? Did he really talk like that and use the word dude a lot? I'm not gonna show those scenes with, all the dude. Maybe I'll show the Supergirl one to see how they kind of, I felt they messed that up by making Supergirl have that same personality. Um, this is not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're not the Turtles or Michelangelo. There isn't a Michelangelo character, where they. I just feel like that should not be in his vocabulary, a lot of these words. But then it's one thing to post about it and use my words, and another thing to actually show it, and you can actually see it with your own eyes. Then it becomes clear and apparent. And after you see these clips, go back and watch the film again, and you'll see almost every bit of it. There's comical moments, humor. There's, I understand, it's good for films to have humor, and it's good, but this, I feel, is quite a bit too much. And everything about the dog. Okay, look. This scene here.
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's coming off, and this is not the first time his mood was like this.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog in a cape.
What did you say?
Okay, so there's that, and there's another scene where he kind of exploded like that with his temper, and it's just, he's cheery with the Brendan Fraser type cheeriness, and then all of a sudden explosive like that. Not 5, maybe not even 10 minutes later, there's this.
Really, dude?
He comes in.
It kind of sounds like you're trying to make the guys who are a little more edgy than you. Like,
There's a fight going on. He wasn't even helping them during this fight.
You were out there helping them?
See, look.
Coco.
Just look. This is Superman?
You were out there helping them?
It's like, huh? He doesn't even... He wasn't.
Oh, no, that's just some dimensional imp. They've got that handled. I was looking for the dog.
Again. And then he was looking for the dog, not even helping them. Outside the window, look how close this fight is taking place, and which, because of it's a film and it's about him, it is focused, happens to be focused right outside his window, just as a backdrop for comedic purposes, on purpose. I felt it's just too much of this kind of stuff peppered throughout the film. A few moments, okay, you know, this is too, it's too direct and too strong, you know. I don't know what, too obvious, like of a humor moment, and I don't. This could have easily gone the wrong way, and that blast could have hit the window and put Lois Lane's life in danger and kill her. You know, what does he care? Okay, it doesn't hurt him, but his apartment building and the people in there. I just didn't feel this Superman is really, I don't know. And then, yeah, okay, is this the end? Okay. And then you have Supergirl come in.
Sir, I think your cousin has returned.
And she made her just like him.
Yep.
What the hell, dude?
Dude.
Why did you move the door?
I didn't move the door.
Hey, where is my dog?
Oh, come on. And if Supergirl is going to be like this for the future, you know, movie, dude this, dude that, dude everything. Nothing against the word and the phrase, but not for Superman or Supergirl, not like that. So I just wanted to clarify my complaints. I'm not going to, like I said, I don't want to go through everything, but you go through the whole length of this film, watch it. The whole giant Godzilla monster that he fought, ridiculous. And a random dog, not Crypto, but a different dog, just a normal Earth dog. He had to blow it away so it doesn't get squashed. The whole concept and idea of that giant Godzilla creature in the first place is ridiculous to even have that in there. I don't know, because why they even have that. Is it because Godzilla and King Kong films have gotten big now and they're kind of popular, so they have to inject that into the film and put something similar? You know, there's no need for that. So I just wanted to make this quick video to better illustrate what I'm talking about. I still enjoyed it. It had some cool action bits. I thought Lex Luthor, he just, to me, didn't, there came a certain, when it started off with him, he was on a roll, he was on the right track, but somewhere in there he started coming off as someone who didn't seem like he was the greatest criminal mastermind on the earth, you know. As Gene Hackman put it, who am I? I'm Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mastermind. He didn't convey that to me. He did a poor job of illustrating that to me. You know, he just started crying. I think I even passed a part where it looked like he's crying and all because of it. Just, you know, because he couldn't defeat Superman and he was jealous. It just was not, something is weird, and I just didn't you know, care for that part of it. Some of the action was kind of cool. I liked Hawkgirl. There are parts of it that I liked, and as I said, I still enjoyed it. But it's, you know, to me it's kind of like a Mad TV skit or a Saturday Night Live skit. So I know it did exceedingly well in the theaters, but that's, of course, something like Superman 2025. It's a reboot. Okay, James Gunn is taking over. It's different from the Snyderverse. It's new, and people don't know what it's about. So everyone's going to go rush to see it. they're judging by the numbers of people that went in to see it, but not necessarily for the film itself. When you look at the reviews, you can see now that it's died down and people have actually seen it. The score, the star rating, it's diminishing, and I noticed the Fantastic Four is still kind of at a high point. There are some movies where you look on Amazon and they review it saying, yeah, this did bad in theaters, blah blah, and all of this, but give it a chance. It actually is. It's silly, yes, but it's actually a fun movie. Where it's kind of like a hidden gem or underrated. I feel like this has gone the opposite route. This is like the opposite of that. Everyone's it's Superman. It's a big blockbuster, but then you actually see it, and it's kind of a bit of a letdown. You can say, I can't see how people. Okay, people say it's like maybe one of their favorite superhero films, but why? Tell me why. Because of that? Did you not see that? You're cool with that? Superman being like that? It's not about corniness or what is that word now? Kind of like corny or cheesy. I know like the Christopher Reeves one. Of course, it has some cheese, but it wasn't like this. It didn't. And it's number one, it didn't have this kind of thing and this kind of talk. It was a product of its time. And I felt that did a much better job of conveying, maybe not necessarily exactly like the comic books, but his personality, the way he spoke, his demeanor, and how stoic he was. They captured that perfectly. And Brandon Routh, I thought, did an admirable job as well. Almost as good maybe as Christopher Reeves. Henry Cavill, a more serious, darker toned Superman. I prefer those kind of Superman over David Cornsweet. So I can't grasp how everyone can defend it, how it's the greatest Superman film and this is the way it should be done and this is a new age for Superman. I think if they continue with this route and he continues to speak like this, it will not do well. I feel, unless this is the way the world is now and they kind of like that, but I just can't see it. For me personally, I'm speaking only for myself, I do not like that. I did like the action. There are parts of it that were kind of cool, but I just, and I like it as a different reason, as more of maybe a comedy. More of like a comedy action superhero flick, a satire in a way. Kick-Ass, Defendor, Super. Oh, Super, also by James Gunn. Super starring Rainn Wilson and, Ellen Page, because she was Ellen Page at the time. So, yeah, things like that. I place it under that, and I like those films a lot. That type of a satire. But for serious, like, on the level of Marvel's, like, the greatest that Marvel has to offer, like Avengers, or going back to the other Superman films, Superman Returns, the Christopher Reeve Superman, Man of Steel, I think those are a far better portrayal of a serious, type of Superman, the real kind of Superman. Anyways, that's it, and okay.